Hello, and welcome back for another Read Aloud video. Today we are reading a book called Adventures to School, Real Life Journeys of Students from Around the World. This is a book by Baptiste Paul and Miranda Paul, illustrated by Isabel Munoz. So we might not think about this, but all kids get to school some way, somehow, right? Some of us might walk, some of us might drive, but kids around the world get to school in all kinds of different ways, in ways that we maybe would have never imagined. So follow along as we listen to the 13 stories of 13 different students and what their trek looks like on the way to school. The Angle Inlet, Minnesota, the U.S. and Canada border. The thermometer reads -1 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's dark when I leave the fishing house here in Canada. If the ice were thicker, we'd take the truck, but since it's March, we'll take the toboggan. I bundle up in snow pants and tuck my border crossing card and lunch into my backpack. I help my sisters into the toboggan and put a helmet on. When Grandpa starts the snowmobile, I hold on tight, and we cross the frozen lake in about 10 or 15 minutes. Today there are a few slush holes and pressure ridges that make the ride bumpy. We park the snowmobile next to the one-room schoolhouse, and Grandpa walks to the special phone to register us with customs. This school in Minnesota is the closest one to us. It's good to be back. So every time this student wants to go to school, they actually have to go through United States Customs to cross the Canada border. Could you imagine having to show your passport or customs card every time you wanted to go to school? The United States is the world's third largest country by geographic area. It shares a long border with Canada, the second largest country by area, and record holder of the world's most freshwater lakes. The United States has 50 states, 48 of which are connected. The northernmost point of these states is the Northwest Angle in Minnesota, which shares a land border with Canada, but not the United States itself. Americans come from many different backgrounds, and there are 567 federally recognized Native American tribes, communities, and nations in the United States. Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. I leave at 2 o'clock in the morning, Ethiopian time. In Ethiopia, sunrise is considered 1 a.m. I carry my baby sister on my back. I don't have shoes, so I step carefully around the garbage piles. I exit through an opening in a metal fence, and I make sure my baby sister fits through safely. When we reach the busy street, I stay to the side and look both ways before darting across. I don't make eye contact with security guards or strangers. In the rainy season, I walk through sand and mud where the road isn't paved. And once I reach the footpath into the schoolyard, I can smell the warm breakfast that the staff is preparing. Ethiopia's mountainous highlands are home to gelada baboons, a primate that can only be found in Ethiopia. In the northeast desert, an area called the Danakil Depression is one of the hottest, driest, and lowest places on the planet. Fossils from early human history, dating back more than 3 million years, have been discovered in this area. Today, most Ethiopians live outside the Danakil Depression region, such as in Addis Ababa, the highest capital city in Africa. Disease, conflict, and famine have orphaned many children over the past decades. Many sibling groups wake up early to do chores or use community washrooms so they can make it to school on time. You can see this picture of the student crossing between the fence safely with the baby sister. This is clearly a very unsafe path to school, so it makes us think about how grateful we should be for the safe ways that we are able to travel to school. Punjab Province, Pakistan. The rickshaw is so full that all of us can barely fit inside. Legs and arms hang out, and we have to hold on tight. My backpack is tied to the rickshaw so it won't fall. Our driver weaves in between colorful buses, motorcycles, and people. We laugh as we go bump, bump, bump over train tracks and rough patches in the road. By the time I get to school, my hair needs to be combed again. Pakistan has an ancient history, but it's a relatively new country formed in 1947. The landscape includes deserts, beaches, and farmland. There are three large mountain ranges, and people live in both villages and cities. In many families, girls and boys have different roles. Some parents do not send their daughters to school. One famous Pakistani, Malala Yousafzai, was awarded a Nobel Peace Prize for her bravery in standing up for girls' education. At age 17, she was the youngest person ever to win a Nobel Prize, and she is not alone in her quest for justice. Her parents, brothers, friends, and many other Pakistani people have been working toward equality. Langshan Prefecture, Sichuan Province, China. I make sure my shoelaces are knotted well, then walk to the edge of the cliff. My father ties a rope around my little brother. We climb all the way down the heaven ladder. Sometimes I grip the rungs so tightly I can see the veins in my hands. We climb down more ladders. Some are loose and need repair. In places where there is no ladder, I hold on to rocks and patches of grass. Farther down, we walk a narrow path to the foot of the mountain. It's a tiring trip, but I won't have to make it again for 2 weeks. Our school has a place for us to sleep over. This is looking like another very dangerous path to school here. The longest man-made structure in the world is the Great Wall of China. China's climate varies by region, and endangered giant pandas live in remote central provinces. Lunar New Year, the most popular holiday, falls in January or February. The day before it starts, children are given money in a red envelope, a symbol of luck and good health. Many families have only one child. When a child loses a lower tooth, they throw it onto the rooftop, and when a child loses an upper tooth, they bury it in the ground. This tradition is thought to help teeth grow straight and in the right direction. Do you have any superstitions or traditions such as this? Thamka, Nepal. Above the Tricity River, a wire bridge will take my brothers, sisters, and me to the other side. They load on into the carriage and tuck their books and lunches on their laps and hang on tightly. I tug at the rope. The wheels creak above us. The water below us swells and sprays. My sister gasps, but I remind her the bridge is safer than swimming across the rapids. I sing to calm her. Our voices echo, echo, echo off the rocks. Once we reach the far side, I jump out and help push and pull the rope for others. Look at my muscles. When everyone is across, we hike up the hill and walk the rest of the way. If we get to school early, we can chat with our friends before class starts. Again, looking like a very incredibly dangerous path to school. Could you imagine crossing a river with a rope to get to school? Nepal is home to yaks, Bengal tigers, elephants, and the world's highest peak, Mount Everest. It is the only country in the world whose flag does not have 4 sides. Roads are difficult to build in many areas. So some Nepalese people measure walking distances in the time it takes to get there rather than by miles. Earthquakes as well as yearly flooding often wash out bridges, making streams and rivers tough to cross. Despite hardships, some kind of festival is almost always going on in Nepal, including Raksha Bandhan, where sisters tie string bracelets on their brothers' wrists, and brothers give gifts and loving promises to their sisters. In Tokyo, Japan, I'm the only one riding the elevator, so I get to push the button. Outside, the traffic is busy, but I'm not worried. I wait for the signal and put my hands in the air. Cute kid crossing here. Then I go down, down, down into the subway. I slide my pass card through the machine and hop aboard the train. The ride is fast. I count the stops. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I get off, I transfer to another train. I weave in between lots of people, but I wear my yellow flag so grown-ups will help me if I get lost. After one more fast ride, I exit and walk up to the street level. My schoolmates are waiting for me on the sidewalk. We play follow the leader inside the school gate. I'm excited to learn new things. Most Japanese people live in cities. Tokyo is the world's most populated city with nearly 38 million residents. Japan's bullet trains, known as Shinkansen, connect major cities. The 33-mile-long Shinkansen Tunnel, one of the world's largest underwater railroad tunnels, links the large islands of Honshu and Hokkaido. In Bamenda, northwestern Cameroon, this student says, "My uncle lifts me up onto his motorbike. I wear a jacket, sunglasses, and a bandana. These things will help me stay warm and keep the dust from getting in my eyes. My sister rides up front with me. My brothers squeeze in behind my uncle. Our weight slows down the bike, and cars pass us on the straightaways. Oh no, a tire goes flat. My uncle says he'll fix it. We wait while he finds a shop and some tools. Eventually, we're back on the motorbike and speeding through the busy roundabout. I can't wait to see my friends in the schoolyard today." Cameroon is surrounded by other African countries except on one side, which borders the Atlantic Ocean. The country has a unique shape and location that stretches over lush tropical and montane forests, as well as dusty desert. Cameroon Mountain, an active volcano, is the nation's tallest point. The two official languages are French and English, though more than 200 different languages and dialects are spoken throughout the country. Adults and students may have to switch languages several times throughout a single day. In some remote villages, seeing a car is rare, but seeing a leopard is even rarer, even though they lurk in both the southern and northern forests. So here's a picture of all the students that were included in the book and their stories of their adventure to school. And they've all arrived safely. So in this book, there was a focus on how to make students' adventures to school safer. As we read about in this book, there were lots of very dangerous routes that children were taking to school in different countries. So the author included this, a safer adventure. Several years ago, photos and videos of children around the world making dangerous treks to school became popular on the internet. People continue to copy and repost these stories without checking to see if they are still current. In many areas, local governments or aid groups have already repaired or built new infrastructure for children who once faced dangerous treks. Those students now have safer journeys to school. The follow-up stories below remind us that not all of what we read on the internet is complete or up to date, and we should always look for multiple sources. Here in Indonesia, it says many children walked or rode a bike over rickety planks on an aqueduct bridge. An article published in March 2017 shows a photo of a new, wider, and paved bridge next to the old one. In Vietnam, during periods of flooding, students tucked their uniforms into plastic bags and waded into cold water, swimming across a river while holding the bags above their heads. Local sources say a boat now comes daily to carry students across. And in Colombia, children once zoomed down a zip line to cross a 1,300-foot high gorge to get to school on the other side. According to the headmaster, the school on their side of the canyon reopened in 2015. The end. So I want to know, how did you get to school today? Which student's journey to school seemed the most exciting to you? And which student's journey to school seemed the most dangerous to you? I hope this story gave you a new perspective and that you will think of these students on the next trip to your school. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.